Hello and welcome to part 10 of the fantasy walkthrough. We've just defeated the Queen and now we're on the post game. So we talked to Kwame, the first guy that we spoke to in the game, and he will give you a very nice gift. And also he'll tell you about Dark Dens. He'll give you a Mega Ring as a gift, so now you can use Mega Evolutions, which is pretty decent. And he will basically congratulate you and all the rest of it and let your Pokemon out of its Pokeball, and it seems that your Pokemon has spawned right on top of you. Nonetheless, here we are, and Milo will speak to us, and she'll give you basically the national dex, except in this game it's called the Elven Dex Orb. So that is what we managed to achieve there. So we're basically in the post-game now. The 5 keys of the post-game can be obtained in any order, and they're progressively harder based on how many keys you've already got in the post-game. But first what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Wizard's Tower and speak to the Grand Wizard, because he also has a nice present for us. This used to be the XP share in version 1, but in version 2 it is something slightly different. What we get to do now is we get to surf using the magic carpet, and he'll basically do some sort of mad spell on your magic carpet so that you're able to surf on it. So that is pretty useful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the Slaver key, and to do so we're going to go to Smuggler's Cove. This bit you can do before the post game, so you can access Ancient Ruins and you can also access Desert Pass before the post game. We just decided not to in this storyline, so that's why we're having to fight all these trainers. Some are compulsory, some aren't. I figured we'll just cut the footage of that because you can already do it beforehand. So that was our logic there. You've got the ice cubes there to make it easier to pass through the second time. But that is usually not necessary, because what happens is once you get through Desert Pass, you go to another city, which you can just basically use the broomstick to fly to. So that bit is not necessary in that area. So we're just making our way through Ancient Ruins, and now we're making our way through Desert Pass. It would be absolutely easy at this stage if this is the first time you're going there. Obviously, we're using the Repel because we can't be bothered with all the drama of wild Pokemon 30 levels lower than us. And there's nothing that I believe is worth catching at this stage in the game. Obviously, if you like your ground types, you can obviously do that. As this is the gate, it requires the Queen Key, which we've now got in the last video. So now we enter Coriander City. So this is an area you can fly to. It's the only post-game city, and it has a few features, including the building we're about to go to, which is the Trade Bazaar. But first we'll just demonstrate how surfing works. It works the same as in any other game. You just sort of surfing on your carpet. I don't think there's any wild Pokemon in Coriander City, but there are in other areas. Ones that were quite hard to obtain in version 1, sort of your sea Pokemon, your Wailords, all the rest of it. So this is the Trade Bazaar. You walk in and your rival will talk to you. He won't battle you just yet, but he'll go off. And there's quite a few cool features. You can buy Mega Stones, you can buy starter Pokemon, you can trade some Pokemon for other Pokemon. So it's quite decent in that regard. I don't know if I think the starter Pokemon are random. And here are the Mega Stones, which are not, but they're very, very expensive. So our next area we will enter is the Mega Pyramid, but we won't enter the actual map yet. That comes up later. We just sort of run past it. Like so. You can't enter at the minute anyway, and you enter the Academy. Now get ready for battle. You're going to talk to Shona, and she will not battle you. In fact, your rival will battle you. She's basically saying, there's a problem with the slavers and all the rest of it. You can't go further on into the map just yet, but you've got to fight your rival. Obviously, his team will change depending on your starter, like always. So he leaves with Flygon. We go for Dragon Dance and hope that one of its Dragon-type moves will not OHKO, which it does not, and then we go for the Outrage. OHKO's Flygon fairly easily, thanks to the Dragon Dance boost. It doesn't if you don't Dragon Dance, in my case. Drapion next, doesn't OHKO, becomes confused. X-Scissor knocks out Dragon. So who do we send up for Drapion? We send up Bird because it resists most of its moves fairly well, the only one being Night Slash, which is neutral. We go straight for the Brave Bird, which we're hoping will knock it out, and it manages to do so. So Drapion goes down, and next up is Mawile. This is not a normal Mawile, this is a Mega Mawile. So good luck. It hits really, really hard, carries Intimidate. We sent our dog straight away to try and Flamethrower OHKO. It doesn't work, and it Swords Dance. Now it's extremely strong. So watch out for that. keeps healing, but we just keep going for the flamethrower. We outspeed it, but it also carries Sucker Punch, but we managed to deal with it fairly reasonably well. It's a massive struggle if you can't do that. We decide not to learn Inferno because it's ridiculously inaccurate. Surfetched is up next. We go for Bird because it's a fairly good choice for that. I don't know if we go straight for the Brave Bird or not. We don't. We go for Hone Claws. It has knockoff. We have no items, so it hits barely anything and doesn't really do anything. Knockoff again and Brave Bird. I think Oko's it. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, we have to take quite a bit of recoil damage, but we're still standing. Bird is anyway. Samurott next, because obviously I picked Fennekin as the starter. We go for Lilypad. Samurott carries Mega Horn, I think, just like last time, so we got to look out for that. But we go for the Giga Drain, and we get a fairly chunk of its HP down. Razor Shell doesn't hit very much, and we go for another Giga Drain, and Samurott goes down. So that is that part dealt with. And I don't know if... I think it has Clefable next. Relatively easy with Bat, and it's Cross Poison. So that's who we decide to send out. That's his last one, Cross Poison. It goes for Protect, which does nothing but stall us. It's not toxic to us or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Hits us with a barely effective Moonblast. Of course, it keeps healing. The post-game trainers have tons of healing items, so the frustration does not end there, I assure you. But we knocked out Clefable. We learned Leech Life, although we got rid of Confuse Ray, which is fairly decent. Keep Haze. Just keep Haze. Just have one Pokemon with Haze in your party, preferably a fast one. I've told you this before. It still stands. Boris isn't happy, but when is he ever? And she sort of gives you a Mawilite, and that is that part done. Next up, we're going to go to the main map of Mega Pyramid. It's quite an annoying map because you've got to keep standing on the sort of tiles to open the different gates. I'll explain what I mean once we get there, but before we can even go in, we've got to defeat this Slaver, and you'll have to fight the female one. She has Swanna, Mr. Rhyme, and Arctozolt, which we took care of fairly easily with Dragon. So now in the map, and you go left for this bit. For now, there is a path to the right as well, and you fight this Slaver. He's compulsory. I think all but one of the Slavers are compulsory. He has 2 Vivions, which we dealt with a Rock Slide fairly well. Just carry on through this path. It's pretty one way. Have this trainer with a Shedinja and a Klinklang. Carry on even more. There's a den. There's an example of a Dark Den. They're sort of their own thing. I won't go over that in this walkthrough, but they're pretty cool things to do post-game. You just sort of make your way through back to the entrance of the pyramid. Do not leave the pyramid, because when you re-enter it, you will have to go stand on the switch again. So we didn't re-enter it. Next we fight the Dark Flygon. He will fight you whether you walk past him or whether you talk to him. And we just sort of use the normal strategy that we use for Dark Pokemon, which is to have our Haze user up front. It does all its stat rises, about to be pointless, and we go for a straight Outrage. So it doesn't attack Bite, it attacks Dragon instead, and all of its stats are back to normal. It also carries Dragon Dance, so even if you do use Haze, you've got to try and maybe use it again a few times if it does manage to get the Dragon Dance off, because then it'll be really fast and really powerful. You've got a Flareon carry and Protect. This is what I'm on about, Dragon Dance. Flareon carries Protect, which obviously doesn't help. But we go for another Haze. So it goes for another Dragon Dance, but it doesn't matter because we just Haze it away, so now its stats are back to normal again. Rock Slide to try and deal with Flareon. Doesn't quite do it, but does manage to get the flinch. We go for Rock Slide again, and Air Slash on Cross Point. No, I think we're going to heal somebody. I'm really not sure. Yeah, we heal Dragon. That seems like quite a rational move at this point. Goes for the Rock Slide, knocks out Flareon. So next up, we're going to try and get Flygon down to half health. We managed to get the flinch. Rock Slide's on very low PP now, so I think we go for another Outrage because it's the only target there, so it's not in vain. And with the combination of Air Slash, we get it to half HP. Goes for another Dragon Dance, so I think we're going to use Haze next. It has a Heliolisk. I think Outrage is going to hit the Heliolisk next, but unfortunately, if Dragon gets burnt, so Outrage doesn't knock it out. But we do manage to get rid of the Air Balloon. It carries Parabolic Charge, which is annoying if you have Pokemon weak to Electric. Luckily, Bat's bulky enough to tank it pretty well. We go for the Leech Life, which doesn't quite take care of it, but Outrage certainly does, and Heliolisk goes down. Obviously, confusion due to outrage there with Dragon. Scorching Sands knocks it out as well. I think we were going to switch out anyway because the burn would have made it fairly inept. So now we're down to half, and I think we just go for a straight Dazzling Gleam and a Air Slash. Hopefully try and get the flinch there. Doesn't manage it, but Scorching Sands does practically nothing. A bit of a pointless Dazzling Gleam because it was already down on a quarter. I think the approach we take is we send out Dog because Magnezone is weak to fire. And so we're sort of panicking a little, but we're going for the Air Slash with Bat. I don't know if it flinches or not. Flygon goes for a dual Wing Beat, which hits quite a fair amount, and Magnezone goes for the sub. Sub's obviously annoying in battles like these, but we just sort of get through it by using Flamethrower on it, and we use Bat's turn to heal up Dog. So Dog is almost back to full HP, gets dual Wing Beated again, but we attack the substitute and it's down. Thunder Wave, obviously annoying for paralysis purposes. We go for another Flamethrower, and I think what we do is we full restore because it's low on HP and it's paralyzed, so we figure out that the full restore is probably your best option. Flamethrower knocks out Magnezone because the substitute's down, and all that's left is the Flygon on its own now. So, you know, if you come up with a decent strategy, this Flygon's not too difficult. I picked Flygon for this battle just because I thought Flygon didn't have enough sort of attention in Pokemon games in general, so that's why I sort of went for it. It knocks out Dog at the last minute with a bunch of scale shots. We figure out Bird's probably the best one to tank it, and it's completely immune to Scorching Sands as well. I think we're trying to knock down Flygon's speed. No, we're not. We're just air slashing it, and it goes down. So that is the Dark Flygon dealt with. The rival will sort of come and talk to you, and you're going to attempt to free the slaves, but unfortunately they have been moved to another room. So then our next part of the walkthrough is to go back to the academy and talk to Shona again. She will tell you to go to the academy and find an item. And it's a fairly straightforward walk through the academy. There's different buildings in the academy, but the one you've got to go to is the one at the far end, which we will demonstrate the path to now. You can just walk around that trainer. That's why we didn't show the battle. Same with that trainer. So yeah, you just sort of follow this brick path here. There is a compulsory trainer coming up, and he's got a Wormadam and a Mothim. Fairly easy bug types to deal with. That gate's obviously pointless because you need the key we're about to get in order to open it, so that you won't gain anything from that. You run around, and this trainer has a double battle with, I just know this off memory, a Gardevoir and a Gallade. So that's a pretty cool battle to do. You just walk in this building, at the end of the room there is the item Rosanna Stone. You don't have to do anything special to obtain it, you just sort of pick it up off of the floor, and your rival will come and speak to you as well. And what he will say is we're going to go back to the upper pyramid, and this time Mega Pyramid, and go the full way. This is where the Flygon was, so it's the right side of from the entrance, and you've got to click the switch to get that gate open. This trainer has a Dragonair and a Heliolisk. You just go around, and there's the switch which will open the gate to get you to the middle part. That strange symbol that you saw on the left there, that's the thing you need the Rosanna Stone in order to get through. So here we are, we're going down and up, and there's a sort of cutscene with the Rosanna Stone opening up the staircase. So now we're in the upper level of Mega Pyramid. This bit's optional, and you get a book off it, but this trainer has a Klinklang and a Behem. You just go to the west here, and you'll find this switch, which I'll tell you what door that opens in a minute. And you carry on round here. It's fairly one way from here on in. You just go around this circle. This trainer also is compulsory with a Centiskorch and a Ninjask. So that you do, you go down these two things. You can't open that door yet. You go down this ledge now, and you're about to face another trainer. She has Pupitar and Gerda. So then this switch is to open the main door to the back room. But the switch we opened earlier goes into this room, and you get the book for Air Slash if you are after that move. Can come in quite useful. I recommend you just do it on this particular trip, so you won't have to re-enter the Mega Pyramid unless you're doing Pokédex stuff. She has Girafarig and Behem. And then you've got to be quite careful when you run around here. Try not to jump over both the ledges coming up now. Just jump over one and go up north into the room where you talk to and fight the Slaver boss. Prepare for battle. This guy is relatively tough. He's got some decent Pokemon. Starts with Obstagoon. Obviously, if you've got a fighting type, use it. We don't have any fight type moves, so we're just sort of hoping for the best with Bat's sort of bulkiness. It goes for Night Slash, which doesn't even hit half. It's not a Guts Obstagoon, but it's pretty difficult if you don't have the right moves, and also it hits hard with Double Edge. I think we go for Leech Life, which is super effective, and we get the crit and knock it out. So who do we have next? We have Galvantula. I think we decided to send out Dog, knowing that Bug is neutral against Dog. I think that's what we sort of do, and also Flamethrower is super effective. That's the approach we go for. Don't quite knock it out, and I think we just sort of let Dog go down, really, which is a bit harsh. But we send out a Bat because we believe that Bat outspeeds it, which it does. Air Slash and knocks out Galvantula. Next up, Cinderace. This is a Libero Cinderace, so this one is pretty challenging. It won't just immediately get knocked out by a water type move if it moves first. I think we decide that Dragon's the right path to take. Shadow Ball transforms into Ghost type, hits relatively hard. Outrage gets it to about half. Pyro Ball, Fire type, not very effective on Dragon. And we manage to get the second Outrage to knock it out. Then we get confused. Luckily, we're not locked into another Outrage. Conkeldurr, this one is Guts. It's a Guts Conkeldurr. So be sure to take care of it relatively quickly, or maybe give it a status condition other than the ones that activate Guts. It goes for Mach Punch, but we managed to almost OHKO it with Brave Bird. Flame Orb activates, ready for it to do Guts. The Slaver boss can't use full restore, but it uses Max Potion to heal its HP. It does use full restore, but it gets rid of its Guts. And we almost got it, but unfortunately Recall got the better of us. Flame Orb comes back, and Guts activates yet again. Bat outspeeds, goes for the Air Slash, and knocks it out before it can do any lethal damage. Make sure that it isn't able to do so. Dragonite, we've not got an Ice type move, but we have got a Fairy, which we are using, so that's Hattie. I think we're just going to go for a straight Dazzling Gleam. No, we're not. Dual Wing Beat hits us relatively hard. Dazzling Gleam crits, so it's very bulky, as you can see, Dragonite. I think we're going to go for Charm to reduce the power of its Dual Wing Beat, which we managed to do. It uses Dragon Dance to get its attack back up again, but we go for a Dazzling Gleam and we hit it down to there. I think we go for another Charm, but Dual Wing Beat unfortunately crits and knocks out Hattie. I think the approach we take at this point is to try and send out Dragon and just outrage it. We don't manage to do that. It extreme speeds us, but doesn't knock it out, and we do knock it out with Outrage, which is jolly good. Pincer. This is a Mega Pincer. It's got Aerolate. It's sort of got quick attacks. It's got priority flying. So if you've got a rock type, obviously use it. Otherwise, I think we were sort of struggling on the approach to take. I think we decided that flying was a good combination because it's still weak to flying. And I think we were healing up Bat in order to do so. So we used a Max Potion and it's fully healed. Close combat hits barely anything. And Bat's obviously got bulky. It dropped its defenses due to close combat. There's the flying type Aerolate powered quick attack there. It goes for full restore because, post-game training, I got tons of items, as I said earlier. And Pincer goes down due to the Air Slash. And we finally defeated the boss after all of that. So that's good. We get the Slaver key. And that is that part done. Rival will talk to you. Before we end the video, I'll just show you something coming up to the north through that gate. This will be the path that unlocks and allows you to obtain the Pincerite. And if you're looking at that ladder down there, that is leading to the unknown chamber where you can fight and catch all the unknown forms. That's the only place they're found in the game. We will see you next time for part 11, and thank you very much.